What's going on, everybody? This is Gabe here, along with Frank. Another edition of Ultimate Black Man Radio. I told y'all I was going to give y'all two shows today. And even though I am 30 minutes late, I am a man of my word. I got to get better about being on time, man. I gotta get a new rig, man. My computer's been dragging. It didn't really like me today. I guess the feminists and bedwenches sent their minions after my computer and decided to make it drag a little bit. But we here. We are here. Shout out to everybody in the defense team for their support. Shout outs to Nicole and her interview movement and pushing us to do this channel. And shout out to all the subscribers and the listeners. I think I'm at I think where we at, Frank, 188 subscribers. So
Yep.
we not bad. I said I wanted to do 200 before the month's out. I think we can do it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So that's not bad. It's not bad. So we just got to keep building, keep getting that content out, giving what the people want.
Absolutely.
Out here in the street. So look, man, Frank, I'm gonna hop right into it. I've done a little housekeeping that we need to do. So I'm looking on Facebook and in the groups I'm in, and Twitter especially. And I'm seeing this term simp. Now, you and I know what simp is. It's been defined. In fact, it was last properly defined by Tariq Nasheed when he did his Mac lessons over a decade ago. And he told us what a simp was. And he's actually the guy who actually popularized that term. But ever since he defined it, I see all kinds of definitions of what a simp is. I'm even seeing some stupid ass niggas out here saying that a simp is a nigga that gets married, or a guy who pays for a first date is a simp. I'm starting to see stupid shit like that. So I said, this is going to be twofold. We're going to talk about this on a live tonight for the people, but I'm also going to do a recorded content on this. So for the next 10 years, folks will know exactly what a simp is. Because people honestly don't know what it is, and it's been redefined too many times. It's actually not that difficult. And here in a minute, I'm going to read something that I saw online that just blew my mind. But Frank, I'm going to let you define what a simp is first. So go ahead, tell the people listening what exactly is a simp.
So a simp to me, in my personal opinion, is someone who goes out of their way, a man who goes out of his way to be chivalrous and to put money up and invest into a woman uh, who has no mindset or no will or desire to invest back into him.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's it. That's it. Define it one more time. That was really good. I want folks to really get this.
Just a simp is someone who is a man who invests his time, energy, and money into a female who has no desire or will to invest into him. You know what I mean? He's
There you
putting
go.
forth a lot of effort, and he's putting her on a pedestal that she hasn't earned.
There you go. That's the key word. A pedestal she has not earned. All right. That's what you guys need to understand. It ain't sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. It's basically a dude who is become subservient to a woman who really don't want to be with him and has put her on this undeserved pedestal because she has big boobs, a fat ass, a cute smile, and she's showing no real interest in him. Okay.
Right.
Give an example of what simping, in your opinion, Frank, might be like. Give an example of a scenario where it might be simpish.
I would say, for me, it just goes. I would say just a man who tricks, who tricks hardcore. Like
Yeah.
he spends a lot of money on a female that um she's not his. They're not in a relationship. They're not committed. She's not committed to him. But in order to appease her or to please her or to get something out of her that he thinks, um, is worthy of getting, he's willing to invest into her. He's willing to give her money, for no reason. He just puts a lot of effort into her that he doesn't get back. So there's a guy who's interested in a female and she always needs something. She's always short. She always need some money, or this bill is due, I don't know how I'm gonna pay it, and he just puts his cape on and he runs to her, 100% of the time, always trying to do something for her, take care of her. And at the end of the day, I mean, she'll take it from you, but she doesn't respect you for it, and she's not going to treat you like the man that you deserve to be treated like.
Right. 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 Um, that's exactly what a simp is. That's simpish behavior. Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna read something to you. I saw on Facebook, kind of ticked me off a little bit, and this is actually what inspired um this broadcast. Shout out to Devin, Miss Natalie, how y'all doing? Angel, how you doing? Angel, where you been?
Andrew been hiding.
Angel,
Yeah.
you been laying low? Have you met a nigga? Has he swept you off your feet, your feminine feet, and is he wooing you? Cause you've been laying low, Angel. I've been missing you, sis. Um. Oh, Angel, she put the eyes.
Right.
You know what that means?
Angela, are you being courted right now?
Yeah, man, you being courted, man. I tell dudes all the time, man. When women signing off of social media, you know what time that is. That means they nose wide open. It's a nigga over there.
Yeah, somebody's enjoying that chili.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
eat your infamous, world famous chili over there,
Yeah.
Miss Angel.
Mhm.
Shout out to Angel, been laying low. But let me ask you this, because like I said, I see a lot of goofy shit on social media these days.
Right.
And you have a lot of these scorn dudes out here, these black dudes out here that are just scorned and wounded because they've tricked off one too many dollars on one too many chicks, and they just are just upset at the whole idea of courting and dating and getting to know a lady. But does paying for a first date constitute you being a simp?
No, not in my opinion. It doesn't. Um, in my personal opinion, that's what I think a man does. When a man who's built something for himself, who's in a position to settle down and to court a young lady, I feel like when he goes after her, that's a part of the process. He takes her out, he takes her on a date, he pays for it, he gets to know her, and they're learning each other. I don't feel like that's tricking or that's simping. And I agree with you. I've seen a lot of things out here, in the manosphere on YouTube about certain things that aren't necessarily simping. There's, depending on who you ask, you can ask 10 people in the manosphere, and you'll get 10 different definitions of what simping is. and
Right.
and a lot of it is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A man being a man and being masculine, that's not being a simp. Like I've said it before, simping is not necessarily what you do. It's really about the quality of women that you do it
Do it
for.
for
That
exactly.
that determines whether you're simping or not.
Absolutely. See, the problem is you have a lot of these Naruto headband wearing ass niggas. These niggas that ran with their hands behind their back in high school, thinking they were anime characters and shit when they were in grade school.
Mm.
A lot of times you have these goofy ass niggas that have been tricked and conned by all these women trying to define what a simp is. And instead of taking that knowledge and those L's and using it to their benefit to learn, you have a lot of angry niggas, especially within the manosphere, that are, in my opinion, they're deliberately being disruptive and providing misinformation. And fellas, you need to really be careful who you take advice from, especially when it comes to dating, relationships, simping. etc., etc. A lot of these dudes have never been married.
Mm.
You had I remember one time I was listening. We were listening to a panel one time, and the dude he's sitting up there running down black women, and the nigga is a paraplegic. You know what I'm saying? This is who you have niggas like this hiding behind avatars, in anime character pictures, trying to tell you some dating and relationship advice. Yeah, you got niggas out here with no car, no job, living off, other people, living in their mom's basement, their grandma's basement, trying to tell niggas what a simp is. So, fellas, you need to be real careful listening to a lot of these goofy ass niggas, because to truth be told, if they come up, they'll sit up here and tell you how to spend your money, what not to spend it on. Oh, you need to go 50-50, you need to go Dutch. But when the right woman comes along, or when a non-black woman comes along, if
Mm.
she's white or non-black, it's open season, it's open check on them on first date. So y'all be real careful listening to a lot of these goofy niggas telling y'all what a simp is and what to do on these first dates. A lot of these men are just mad that they can't go on no date.
Right.
And please, we need to stop this thing. I'm kind of hitting on the first dates because I'm seeing this is becoming more and more of a common thing. Y'all stop letting these niggas lie to you, telling you that they date white women, but are telling black women that they should go Dutch on first dates.
Right.
Those people are being disingenuous. You want to know why? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're taking a non-black woman out on a date or a white woman out on a date, she's going to require you pay for the full date.
Right.
Like niggas we really need to start being honest about that and kill this myth that just because you pay for a date, that makes you a simp. Just because you pay for a date does not make you a simp, fellas. In fact, you're supposed to pay for the date because you are showing leadership abilities. You cannot sit here and expect a woman to respect you and follow your lead. And
Mm.
when the rent is due and when the bills are due, you come looking at her face talking about some where your half at. You see how that works? So
Right.
y'all are so focused and worried about losing $75 on a first date. And again, and a lot of times, like Frank said, it's the quality of woman that you do it for that matters anyway. A lot of you niggas are too busy chasing wanna be Instagram hoes,
Mm.
trying to get with them. You sit up and fantasize about them at night, and you want to get with these chicks, and these chicks really don't want you, but you thinking you can bring your wallet to the table and it's going to make her take you serious, and is not. And a lot of y'all are just really mad about the fact that you got played.
Right.
That's really y'all problem. What you got to say to that, Frank?
I agree 100%. It's like that sphere. Um, they use that mindset, like some of them use that MGTOW or that red pill mindset as a deflection. I mean, basically, in my opinion, they are the personification in the male form of the women that they hate,
Right,
because they do the same things. Like these women that they talk about all the time, who single mothers or what have you, and they talk about them hard. They talk about them hard bodies. So, and they really and these women that they talk about do some of the things that they talk about men and how men aren't doing this and how men aren't accountable or whatever. They're not taking responsibility, and they're just the male version of that. So they got hurt, they took a L, and then instead of owning up to it and saying, hey, you know what, I made a mistake, or I put myself in that situation to get played by somebody that I shouldn't have got played by. I'm gonna be upset, and I'm gonna just go 50-50 on dates, and I'm not gonna put any money up or invest in someone that I think is worthy of investing in. And so for any of those brothers who feel that way, my mind, I feel like this: where's your production? Where's your proof? Where are these brothers out here who go half on dates, who don't spend any money, and have just dimes chasing them all the time? They're swatting dimes away, you know, turning them down. No, I can't be with you because you want me. Like, I don't see it. A lot of these brothers on here, and we, some of us in the loop, in the know who they are. A lot of these brothers out here are faking. They get up here all day and they disrespect sisters. for the most part. And some of the behavior is worth critiquing, but they do it in a negative way. It don't come from a place of respect and love and trying to say, hey, I'm trying to build you up to be something better. It's just a way to push people down to elevate themselves, and they do it, and that mindset is just it's not conducive to what they are claiming that they want to do. It's just a coping mechanism for them, taking the L and not wanting to be honest with themselves and deal with it the way that they should.
Right. I mean, it's just hurt niggas bitching and moaning. Like,
Right.
listen, I have been hurt before too. Like, nigga, I done been there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I did, I never blamed all black women, and I went and sought help and got game so I could avoid those situations in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I done been played before when I was younger. Like, had some chicks who really got my fat ass. Really got at me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I was sitting over here like a wounded puppy, like, oh, how could she do this? I really liked her, but when hindsight is 2020, and
Right.
when you look back on the kind of quality woman that she was low budget, low hanging fruit. She really wasn't worth a damn. So I can't do nothing but blame myself for that. I soaked up that game and moved forward. And we truly, honestly don't. I'm just gonna be real. A lot of these dudes are hurt and need to be healed. Like they need a hug. Like they need a hug from their auntie or from a mother figure, and to let them know that it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like black men have to learn how to deal with like coping mechanisms too. Like we have to learn to cope with the disappointment and letdown that we may experience from some of these chicks because this dating game is ugly.
Right.
It's ugly out here. So you're gonna take a L. It's not so much the how you take the L, or it's not so much as if you'll take a L or you taking the L as it is how you take the L and what you do with the L after you've taken the L. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what and that's what this platform is going to be about. This is Ultimate Black Man Radio. We're trying to build a league of extraordinary gentlemen, and a part of that is holding yourself accountable. You know what I mean? Looking in the mirror and admitting to the mistakes that you made. Like you said, Gabe. Most of us, man, we've all taken. I've taken the L. In relationships.
Oh yeah.
I've I've engaged in simpish behavior. I cupcaked a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Early on. So and I was in an environment where I was raised in that, and that's what I thought what I was supposed to do. But when you get older and you know better, you do better, and that's what this show is going to, and that's what this station is going to be about.
Absolutely.
We're trying to talk to brothers and give them a platform to be honest and be open and be masculine at the same time. It's okay to be honest and say you took an L. That's not feminine to look in the mirror and say, hey man, I made a mistake. And now that I've learned that I made a mistake and I learned, what not to do the next time, I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna pull brothers up with me and I'm gonna teach them the game so they don't make the same mistakes. And that's what we're about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna read something here. So we're talking about what is a simp. So we've defined a simp. We've talked about simpish behavior, how to handle it, you know, who to listen to, who not to listen to. And again, I'm gonna do a whole broadcast on. I call them the Naruto headband wearing ass niggas. These are your angry anime loving ass niggas. And I like anime too. Don't get me wrong, but these are usually your incels. These are usually the dudes you see on these channels all across YouTube that have so much venom and vitriol towards black women. I'm gonna break that down in a separate video and really talk about these niggas. These are the niggas that'll tell you black women ain't shit, and that they need to go, or they're gonna go over to white women, and they'll tell you, I ain't what they not gonna spend on a date, but the plot twist is they can't get no date. So I'm gonna talk about them niggas in a whole separate video. They're really becoming a thorn in my side. I see them as becoming more of a problem on social media. We just got to, deal with them in a proper way. Tariq calls them nigga nerds. I call them Naruto headband wearing ass niggas. These are the niggas you see at these anime cons. They'll spend thousands on action figure collections, but they'll sit up and tell you they ain't gonna spend $25 on a date. Well, nigga, you can't even get a date. So let's start with there, nigga. So separate video. I'm ranting at that point. But let me read this what I saw on Facebook that prompted me to do this show. And Frank, I want you to tell me if you think this is simpish behavior. And I kind of got triggered a little bit when I saw this.
Okay.
But let me read this. So this girl, she says, "Let me brag on my man's real quick. About a year ago, we decided to start dating. At the time, I was a single mom, broke, no car, barely affording rent, and decided to go to school. He moved me and my daughter in, took care of all the bills and extra expenses, all while attending school himself. He drove me and my daughter to school every day, Monday through Friday, from Norman to Edmond. This is in Oklahoma. I've been to Norman before. Shout out Sooners. 45 minutes for the first 2 months I was in school because he believed in me. He not only took us to school, but helped me look after my baby every day after school while I worked to get us by.
Hmm.
I know it wasn't easy for him. He not only had to deal with me, my emotions, my problems, but he had to help me raise a baby that wasn't his. After losing my dad, I wasn't really sure what a man is supposed to do or how a man was supposed to treat a woman, especially after my previous relationship. But the way he respects and admires me and Elijah told me all I needed to know. I truly believe God placed him in my life at that time for a reason. Look at us now. He is a graduate of the University of Oklahoma with his bachelor's, and I am a graduate of Central Oklahoma College as an esthetician. He's going back to school for his master's. I finally have a car. I'm working, making $35 to $45 an hour, and I'm opening my own business. When I tell you God, He's good. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. Okay. First off, thank you, Aziz Abdullah, for subscribing. Appreciate it. First off, I think this is bullshit. I think this is made up. To be honest, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Because I peeped a few things here. Making 35, 45 an hour. She got her own car now. She about to start her own business. And I don't know of any girl or any woman who names their daughter Elijah.
Hmm.
But be that as it may, I'm gonna let that go. Let's just say this bullshit is. Let's just say this is real. Frank, would this be simpish behavior by the man?
That is first degree simpish behavior. I'm gonna tell you, you know, to the hundredth power. Like when you read it, it looked like it sounded like a Tyler Perry script. You know what I mean, for a film. I mean, honestly. And look, there are brothers out here who date women who have kids. You know, that's your preference. Um, that's what you want to do. So be it. You're the only one who has to deal with the consequences of that and the repercussions of it if it comes to that. But when I read it, I didn't really see a lot about what she brought to him. You know what I mean? Everything that she wrote was about he did this, he took me in, he took care of me, he did this. She didn't really mention anything that she brought to the table for him. And even though it might not have been monetary or anything that she could do for him, fiscally, I mean, if he's a man who's taking care of his business, he don't really expect, you know, you to hold him down fiscally anyway. But at the same time, she never really talked about what she did for him, how she made his life better. I mean, the only thing basically he got out of it was, you know, I guess him smashing, because they lived together. She moved in, so he got, he got Disney Junior, he got Nick Junior, and smashing a couple days out the week. That's pretty
Right.
much what he got out of the relationship. And so so yeah, so like when I was reading it, I kind of zeroed in on that, on the fact that she didn't really say anything that she brought to him to the table, how she elevated his life or helped to make him better. And then, I kind of investigated a little bit. I went to her page and she really didn't have him on there at all. She might have had maybe one picture of him on her entire page. She had more pictures of her daughter's father, of her with her daughter's father than she had with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm serious. If you go to it, you see her name, like, I mean, you saw it. So if you go to her page and check it out, you will see that, you know, there's really nothing on her page, you know, referencing him, you know, nothing. And and so it was all like, it was all about her, and she was promoting her thing. I think she had some, she was selling, you know, she was selling her skills, as, you know, putting on lashes and all that. And she was and she had she had a handful of pictures on there with her and her daughter's father, but she didn't really have any pictures on there with her and this guy. So um that's textbook simpish behavior. And I tell you this, you know, at the core, the mindset of a simp, or a simp, is basically just a man who doesn't have confidence in himself.
Right.
And that's something that we're definitely anti. We're anti men who don't look in the mirror and aren't uh, proud or happy or motivated by what they see. And that's really what it is. It's just a man who's not confident. You know, if you're a confident brother, you don't put yourself in situations where you're cupcaking and you're tricking off yourself, you know, just to be in the presence of a woman who don't really care nothing about you. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And that's what I felt when I saw that post, and I kind of dug in a little deeper, because I mean, there was nothing on it. It was nothing like, oh, you know, it's his birthday, you know, I cooked this, or we went here, or I did this, or it was none of that. It was just me and my lashes, me and my kid, me and my kid's dad, and oh, this dude that took me in and put his cape on and saved my life. And that was pretty much it.
Now, I hope folks were really listening to that, because you said a lot of key things. I want people, men and women, the first point I want to point out is this. You notice how Frank said if you go to her page, you see more pictures of the baby daddy than you do of this man who has leveled up her life. Okay? First, if you need to look at that first and foremost, and this is one of the reasons men like me and others suggest that men avoid single moms. Um, I don't think single moms are the devil. However, when I see things like this man has provided all these resources to this woman, giving her all these outs, basically put his cape on and saved her and her daughter. And in turn, you see pictures. She still got pictures of the child's father on her page. Ladies and gentlemen, rule number one of the first rules to the game: if you are dating somebody and they still have pictures of their previous significant other on their page, whether it's the mother slash father of their child or not, if it's just a stand or just an ex, they still have attachments to that person. Okay? There is
Right.
no way in hell she should have pictures of the baby daddy on her page, and he did her so wrong, right? He's a bad person, and he left her destitute and broke with a baby. Yet he's still on her Facebook page. And let me tell you what's gonna happen. And I've said this on panels before on why this is one of the main reasons you should avoid a single mom, is that when she really get where she want to get, like when she get that business off the ground, she gonna leave old boy, because see, she really does not respect this man.
Right.
Anytime a woman has their ex still on their social media, and you done came and you've done all this, you got one picture and this nigga got 100. That's a lack of respect. And fellas, women will not respect you when you put the cape on and you do things for them that they themselves know they don't deserve. Putting
Absolutely.
putting the cape on for these chicks is a death sentence. They will never respect you. And the first sight she could get away, she's probably gonna go back with the baby daddy. That's what she's gonna do. Not
Right.
trying to be, the Debbie Downer here, but this is just how she goes out here in these streets. The dude was a come up. And when she come up the way she really want, she gonna go back to what she want. which is their baby dad.
Right. I mean, it's unfortunate, man, but in life, men and women, we use from time to time we use people as stepping stones, and we don't necessarily want to, like, we never really see ourselves with this type of person long term, but we use them to get where we want to go. And
Yeah,
you look at this woman. Look, I mean, this woman, based off what she was saying, she was literally homeless with a child. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? So she basically at that point, when you're homeless and you have a child to feed, and a child is looking at you that, don't doesn't understand why, I'm cold, but mommy's not, making me warm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand. So when you're in a situation like that, you're gonna do whatever you have to do to survive. So if I'm a brother, if I'm a man, and a sister come to me like that, and I'm like, look, I can't, I may refer her somewhere, I may get her some help. I may say, look, I make a phone call. I know some people over here who know some people that can get you in touch with this, organization who has a shelter and whatnot. But I can't, I couldn't do it myself, because my thing is, I don't understand. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to know where the respect level is from this woman, because when you out on the street and it's cold outside, you're gonna do whatever you got to do. You're gonna go to whoever you have to go to get you some shelter. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? So the respect level, I don't think it's there. I don't think it was there from the beginning. You know, like I said, she was in survival mode. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And a lot of ladies in that situation they're in survival mode. They're trying to live. So when you're trying to live, you'll do things that you wouldn't normally do, and you'll take things from people that you might not normally take. And
right.
so as a brother, you got to sit there and think to yourself and say, look, man, if you hold yourself to a high level of esteem, you don't put yourself in a position like that. I'm not saying don't help her. I'm not even saying don't, hey, look, look, here's a couple dollars, whatever, but I'm not bringing you in and playing, and playing superhero for you, for you. And then I'm looking around, we're supposed to be an item, and people can see, your social media platforms, and I'm not even really on there. Like, there's no level. Men desire respect. There's no higher form of love that a man can receive from a woman outside of respect. That's our love. Women want to be loved and held, and all types of things like that. And they want to be made to feel secure. Men want to be made to feel like we're being respected. That's number one across the board. There's nothing better to a man than for him to come home, walk in his house, and be greeted by a woman that he knows loves him and respects him. you know, respects him enough to ask him how his day was, or respect him enough to make sure he has a nice meal, and respects him enough to make sure that she keeps herself up, so that, you know, to show herself, I mean, to show him that she appreciates who he is and what he does for her as a man. So if you're not really doing these things, you're not showing respect. A man can't really get down with it unless you are a simp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, really, really good points right there, Frank. And I saw her pictures. Beautiful woman, by the way.
Right.
Um, got cakes for days. And to be honest, that's why that nigga put that cape on, them damn cakes.
Right. Right.
He put them capes on. He put that cape on. He saw them goddamn cakes. And her being a single mother and being broke and destitute went out the window. He saw a bubble booty and signed up to be simp of the year. I see a lot of these posts online, and these niggas just be sitting there cheesing and smiling. And I be thinking to myself, you damn fool.
Mm.
Because you can just see the plotting the woman is doing. You can see she's scheming and planning her exit strategy so she can go be with the bum she is destined to be with, the moron, the loser she's destined to be. You can just see it. These niggas done tricked off. I know one guy, Frank. He put this girl through school. Actually, got student loans in his name because he
Mm.
wasn't in school. He was making good money doing something else. Got loans in his name for this girl. Now, I'll get to that in a minute. And they dated 3-4 years. They got a house
Mm.
together and everything. And that heifer left his ass high and dry, was cheating on him,
Mm.
and to this day feels no remorse
Right.
She got her nursing degree, making all this money, and has no student loans in her name, no debt to think of,
Mm.
just gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, first and foremost, I don't know what kind of pussy that girl got, but whatever it is, keep it away from me.
Right.
Because any pussy that has me out here signing up for student loans and I'm not in school and putting me in debt, that's some pussy I don't want,
I
Frank.
mean, I mean, it might not even be that. It's like, you know, it, like I said, it goes back to confidence because it she might be basic, but in his mind, she's God's gift because he might have been curved before, or he might have felt like that women like that in his life, have always been out of his league. So he's willing to overextend himself in order to bag it, you know what I mean, and have some type of relationship with it, with her. So she could, I mean, it might not even be her, it's him. It goes back to that confidence level. If you're confident in yourself, you're not going to put yourself in a situation like that.
Right.
And it goes back to accountability. We can't, as black men, we can't expect black women to hold themselves accountable if we're not. So if that were my son, you know what I mean, and I have both. I have a son and a daughter. If that were my son, I would hold him accountable for that. I wouldn't necessarily blame that woman because she's doing what she has to do in her mind. She's trying to survive. And it's up to you to make a choice whether or not you're going to put yourself in a situation where you get played like that, or you stay to the side and kind of direct her somewhere else to get her some help, but you don't overextend yourself so that you don't make yourself look stupid. And that's what I would tell him. You know what I mean? So you always have to look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable because you're the one who's um you're the one who's taking all the risks. You're the one who's gonna, look like a fool in the end. She'll move on and she'll be with somebody else, or she'll do her thing, and you'll be sitting there crying, you know, playing your, playing your slow jams or whatever, and and you're gonna look like a fool. So look in the mirror, hold yourself accountable, and just go from there. You'll be fine.
Real good points right there, Frank, man. I cannot, man. Listen, I know I'm being petty, man, but I gotta let the petty out a little bit, man. Just I don't know what kind of backflips that heifer was doing in the
Right, right.
bedroom to have that nigga go get a student loan in his name, but whatever it is, man, keep that away from me. She got pussy teeth on her vagina. She got to have some type of succubus energy on her. Like,
Have some grip to it.
man,
Yeah, for sure.
bruh, she had this strong man grip. Had to, man. Pitbull lock. God damn it. Man, cause a chick going to get some you go get a student loan, woo, and she ain't your wife. And that leads to my next point. So, are there levels, Frank, of
Mhm.
of provision for girlfriends and for wives? Are there
Absolutely.
things you do for the girlfriend or things you do for the wife that there's no way in hell you do for your girlfriend?
Absolutely.
Okay,
There's
name things that would be like that.
for your you don't put, for example, you don't put yourself on any paperwork for anybody that's not your wife. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like you just don't do it. You don't. Um, that's a car. That's a house. That's a loan. That's anything. You know what I mean? I know there are people out there who say, "Well, I did it and it worked out." Look, there are exceptions to every rule, but we're speaking in generalities here, and for the most part, that is not going to work for most people. You don't put yourself on paperwork for no one that you're not married to under no circumstances. You don't do it because um, there's no commitment. That look, if you're not if you're not married, you're single. Honestly, I mean, if you're not married, so you don't put yourself in situations where you tie yourself financially to someone that you're not completely committed to. So that's one thing I would say, especially like something like buying a home or taking out loans or anything like that. I would be real hesitant to do that for someone that's not my wife.
Right, right. Very good points. And Frank is married, guys. That's why I asked him that question. So, he has dated and he is now married. So he can tell you, look, because I ain't married. And I desire to be married, but the way you chick psyches are set up, no, I'm just kidding. I'll get married one day, but he's married, so he has a little more insight on that.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked. A lot of you dudes are doing um, wife level things or giving wife level privileges to your girlfriend. You're basically giving girlfriend, you're giving wife status to your girlfriend, and
Right.
your girlfriend has to earn wife. She has to earn that. I told one girl I was dating one time she wasn't cooperating. I was like, "Look, you talking about you want to get married, you want to marry me. This is your audition." I told her she was auditioning to be married.
Right.
You would have thought I told her to jump off a cliff. She was pissed. Oh my gosh, she was so upset. But that's exactly what you're doing. And there are certain things you do for your wife that you do not do for your girlfriend. Case in point, if my girlfriend needed a set of tires, probably not going to get those set of tires. Now, I would try to help her find the cheapest set she could get for her car.
Right.
Uh, but if she's my wife, there's no question. I'm like, let's prop it up. Like, let's go ahead and get you taken care of. I'm not gonna pay rent for my girlfriend, fellas. Don't pay rent for your girlfriend, fellas. Do not pay rent for your girlfriend, fellas.
I'm
A
gonna tell
lot
you.
of
I'm
niggas
gonna,
get caught up like this. Do not pay rent for your girlfriend.
I'm gonna tell you like this too. Another mistake guys make, because let's be honest, like in the black community, there are a lot of sisters who are doing their thing and who are perceived breadwinners um, in relationships. So what I see a lot of guys do also is they'll move in with her, and
Mm-hmm.
and they'll move, and to me that's a no. As a
Yep.
man, you always have your own place. I wouldn't care if we both owned a home. If we both own homes, she's moving in with me, and we can rent out her home, and we can still keep. I'm not saying sell it or get rid of it, but because that's going to help our household, that rental income. But you make them. It's something subconscious. It kind of hits me on a subconscious level as well when I see a guy move in with a lady. You know what I mean? It's like, look, because I've seen it. I've seen guys move in and they thought everything was 100, and then that first argument, that first real heated argument, when nigga, you can get out. This is my house. You understand what I'm saying? And so
Boom.
you don't want to set yourself up for that, because that's always in the back of their mind. It's always like, look, if this ain't working, he's the one got to leave. This is my house. This is my apartment. My name is on the lease. And so that's not something that you want to do, at no point in your life. A man, you got to focus on, and that's why a lot of simps, they put the cart before the horse a lot of times too. Because if you are about building, and you build something, you hold women to a certain standard. And a lot of sisters aren't used to a man talking like that, because they've never had to hear a man say, well, look, well, what do you bring, or how do you benefit me? And not tell brothers all the time, it's not like dating, the courting phase. It's not necessarily always about you having to prove yourself to her. You know what I mean? She has to prove herself to you too. You have to figure out what her value is to your life, because you,
That's
as a
it.
man, you're supposed to have already built something.
That's
So
it.
when you build, and you're ready to court, and you bring a young lady in, your mindset should be, okay, on top of her doing everything for me, physically, and being a feminine woman, how is she going to acquiesce to what I've already built? How is she going to help me, based on what I've already built? How is she going to complement that and help me grow that? And so that's what you're doing. But if you ain't built nothing, then you don't really have nothing to lose in a relationship. So you'll trick off. You'll be in a relationship that's not ideal for you. You'll be with someone that doesn't really make sense for you to be with because you don't have nothing to lose because you haven't built anything. People who built something, they move different because they value what they built and they want to keep it and they want to grow it. So they don't bring people around that aren't on that level where they can add to it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Excellent. Perfect, perfect, perfect breakdown right there. Yeah, never move in with a girl, fellas, because as soon as she gets mad at you, she gonna put your ass out, and then you gonna have to beg, and you basically give her control. And as a man, the last thing you want to do is give a woman control. Okay. Um, Another thing you don't want to do is if you're dating a woman, if you so decide to date a single mom, I know there's some guys out here that are open to dating now. That's cool. I'm not gonna call you a damn fool, uh, because I don't necessarily think you are. You just, that single mom got them legs wrapped around your ass, and
Yeah.
she got your nose wide open. Now,
Yeah.
I've been there. Trust me.
Right.
Single moms done put the grip of death on me, and I have succumbed, nigga. So I know what y'all going through. So if you're dating a woman with children, one, you don't meet the child too soon. In fact, y'all really need to be talking about marriage before you meet her child. And two, you do not do anything for that child until y'all are married. Now, if you buy them like a Barbie doll or a Hot Wheel, okay, you know what I'm saying? Or if you buy them a hoodie or something, or if you take them to the movies, that's cool. But I got a lot of dudes out here paying daycare bills, buying diapers, and Similac for children that are not theirs. Women actually do not respect that. They'll tell you all day on Facebook that that's what a real man does, but behind closed doors, they think that men that do that are suckers.
Right.
Okay? So don't do that. Until if you marry her and y'all are married and y'all done moved in together and it's you and her child, then that's when you provide for the child. But until then, I don't see niggas out here paying daycare bills for chicks they're dating, and the chick still fucking the baby daddy. They can't pay the daycare bill.
Right.
So don't do anything for their child when it comes to finances. We're not paying tuition. We're not paying daycare bills. We're not buying Pampers and Similac. You leave that to the daddy. And if she can't do it herself or the daddy can't do it for the child, then you got to get on down and bounce.
Right.
You got to go
Fact.
ahead and bounce. You got anything to add to that, Frank?
Yeah. So like I said, there's some sisters out here who are single moms who are very feminine, who
Yeah,
do their
for
thing. They
sure.
do their thing because we're not knocking all single moms. It's
Yeah,
about it's not necessarily your child. It's your mindset too. But
right,
at
right.
the end of the day, if you decide if you're a brother listening to this and you decide to date a young lady, a sister who has a child, man, that vetting process that is very it's going to be a lot longer. In my personal
Yes,
opinion, it should be a lot longer. You
absolutely.
should really have your eyes and ears open and kind of observing the situation because first of all you have to make sure that number one she's over her ex or she's over the kid's dad. What I mean, that's very important. So a lot of times you know and guys do it as well. We'll get into relationships and we'll get hurt and we'll get out of one and then we want to rebound real quick or we don't want to be alone. We're so used to laying in the bed with somebody
All right,
that when the relationship is over, we have to have somebody warm in that bed. So we'll rush out here and get something, and get into a situation that's not ideal. So you got to make sure number one that she's over her ex or her kid's dad. Then you got to make sure that she's feminine, that she's willing to submit to your headship or your leadership or your masculinity, and that she's willing to cooperate with it. And so much so for me personally, I always felt like, look, I couldn't date somebody that had a kid. Like if we were serious, you're not going to tell me, okay, we like for example, let's say we live together. I'm not. We're not living together. I'm not paying the bills and providing for this household. And when your kid steps out of line, or when the kid steps out of line, I can't check them, or I can't discipline them. Like I'm not paying for nothing that I can't critique. However they need to be critiqued. Whether it's a talking to, whether it's a whatever it is. I'm old school, but everybody not down with that. But however it needs to be done, if I can't do it, then I would have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that you have to talk about and communicate and vet. Before you completely invest in someone, someone in general. I mean, period. But definitely someone who has a child.
There you go. Really good point. Bingo. Um, let's see here. Another thing that would be, I guess, considered, because I want to kind of go through like simpish behavior in men. Stalking your ex is simpish. They call them the psycho simps.
Right.
Frank, you ever heard of stories from your homegirl or even your wife, maybe, or your previous girlfriends where they told you about a crazy ex boyfriend, super simp, that would
Yeah.
stalk them and get crazy and shit?
Yeah, for sure. Somebody that calls them all the time. Uh, you know, Follow them around. Show up at their job. Like I work in law enforcement. I'm a federal law enforcement officer here in D.C. So a lot of times, I'm in court. I used to be in DV court, which is a domestic violence court here in D.C. at the D.C. Superior Court building, and in U.S. District Court, federal court, and so a lot of times with those domestic violence cases, they always started like that. It was usually an ex, somebody that the female broke up with. She didn't want to be with him anymore, and so he was calling her and coming up to her job and harassing people, harassing her family. Putting when they were in relationships, she would send them naked pictures and he would put them out on social media and all that kind of stuff. Just like a lot of lame game, goofy, super simpish type behavior. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it on a personal level and on a professional level, and it's out of order, man. You know what I mean? It goes back to that lack of confidence, man. You know what I mean? You got to have that mindset. Look, if it don't work, you in a relationship with a female and it don't work, you know what I mean? You got to take the L. You're gonna hurt a little bit. You can play you some Johnny Gill or something, some Ralph Tresvant or something, and get over it. You know what I mean? But you do that in the dark too. You don't be letting people hear you crying and all that. You do that downstairs, in a quiet room by yourself, and then you walk out that door and you get yourself together, and you have that mindset like, my next one gonna be my best one, and that's how you got to live. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hey,
that's just a part of life. But yeah, but I've seen it, man. It's crazy. Some of the things that some of these brothers do when they get hurt, or when the relationship is over.
that's crazy, man. The leaking the nudes, I think that's so bitch made. Because
Mm,
I still got nudes from girlfriends, like, because it's in Google Photos from like 2 girlfriends ago. I would never in a million. I've never in, and I've been very angry. It's one ex in particular. I can't stand the mere thought of her makes my stomach turn. But there's
mm,
no way I would leak her nudes. Like, I don't. A lot of this bitch boy behavior is just insane. Like,
mm,
where do these niggas get off on that? That's simpish behavior. Like I said, you got these dudes sitting up talking about men that want to be married or simps. Y'all need to talk about these angry ass niggas that are sitting up here posting nudes of ex girlfriends,
mm,
or even like they'll chicks that they not even were really with. They posting text messages trying to expose the chick. It's just crazy how backwards um, a lot of dudes thinking is these days. But in any regard, let me ask you this, Frank.
mm,
Um, so if you see your homeboy's girl out on the town with another nigga,
mm.
okay, do you tell your homeboy or do you just be quiet?
Nah, I'm just gonna be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do it in a way. I would talk to him. I would just like we would have conversations. I would say, look, um, so what do you think about, so and so? How far do you see this going? I mean, like, I would kind of have a conversation with them, but I wouldn't tell it, because I don't like getting involved in anybody's relationship, because I've seen it too many times when, if you try to, I've seen people who did that, and who told their friend, like, look, I saw him over there, or she was over there doing this, that, and the third, and it just clouds your relationship, because that person sometimes, if they're simpish, if their nose is wide open, they won't even believe you anyway. They'll think, oh, you trying to break us up because you see I'm happy and all that, and it'll just cause division in your relationship. So I wouldn't say anything to him directly. I may have a conversation with him just to see, you know, how much, how he thinks about her, and where he sees it going long term, or anything like that. But yeah, but I wouldn't come out directly say, yeah, I saw your girl over here, with some dude, hugged up. Nah.
Okay. All right. Good point. Yeah, you do have to keep that in mind. I was gonna say, man, I'm squealing like a pig.
Okay. Okay.
I'm telling it all, but no, but um, lots of estrogen. Any food that gets into a relationship. Look, you see these niggas.
Yeah, we got one. Yeah, we got one.
Let me get rid of his ass. God damn. I'll get rid of his ass. You see those how these simps come in here. Any food that gets in a relationship is a simp, and he's probably sitting in the bottom of his mom's basement, masturbating to Black Bubble Booties Volume 49. Like these niggas kill me. I swear to God. Let me get
I
rid of this.
I just want to see. I want to see the example. I want to see the MGTOW red pill dude that they look up to, that has all these dimes just all over him, that he's curving left and right because he don't get involved in a relationship. He's just smashing supermodels all day long, and and he don't have to, and he doesn't, um, and he just does it from a distance. I want to see who that guy is, because I haven't met him. Most of the dudes who talk like that, you know, I'm not saying all, because I don't know all of them, but a lot of these guys that talk like that, they're they're not living out what they're spitting out. Like you said, they talk tough, and they talk real aggressive, but then they live in their mom's basement, or they're dating the type of woman that they talk dirty about all day. You know what I mean, on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. If that's your opinion, then go with it. But over here, we're trying to uplift men. We're trying to give men the right mindset, and bring swagger to them, and bring confidence to them. And that's not necessarily mean
Opinion.
that
Go
doesn't
with
mean
it
we have to
over
down
here.
disrespect women with
We're
that.
trying to.
You can do that on your own without having to put sisters down and talk about they this and that. You ain't gonna ever do this with them or whatever. You don't have to do all that. You know what I mean? Look, man, just look in the mirror and say, look, somebody hurt me, man. You know what I mean? And be okay with it. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to cry in the shower, and be okay. Just don't let nobody know about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get on YouTube and 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 play tough all day about how these women are all trash, and you're not gonna do this for them or do that for them. Okay, I hear you, but you're gonna do it for somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, trust. Because I mean, we talked about it. Like, as soon as that white lady come around, or that Asian chick come around, these same dudes talking about they ain't breaking bread, they breaking the whole wallet out. You know what I'm
Nigga,
saying? Like
it's open
you know,
check. I'm
they'll
talking
do. I mean, it's a blank.
they take these white girls to concerts and steakhouses, sit up here and tell these sisters they don't deserve uh fully paid for dates. Sit up and tell them it's 50-50, but they got the little petite Asian chick, you know, footing $200-300 dates. I see you goofy ass niggas. I see you goofy ass niggas.
And then
Those
and
are the
then
ones that can get the dates anyway.
and then they'll turn around and be on some Clarence Thomas. Like, what about black on black crime? You know what I'm saying? Like, they lose themselves in it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, real strong
yeah,
coon shit, Frank. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure. I mean, but it's yeah, but it's just simps, man. Like, let me ask you this though. where do you think
Hmm.
what what um what helps to create a simp? Where do simps come from?
I hate to say this, because it's gonna sound ugly. Like I said, I don't want this to be the beat up the single moms channel, but simps come from two places: single moms and soft ass dads. So most of the time, simps are born in single mother households because single moms create men that they themselves don't respect or will look to date. That's for one. Two, if the father was there in the home, he was so emasculated. I actually had a grade school friend that I grew up with, and it wasn't until years later I knew what his relationship dynamic was like with his mom and dad. Basically, his mom wore the pants in the home, and the dad was the simp. If a dude, or if a young man if both parents are in the home and he turns out to be a simp, it's usually because the wife or his mom spent a majority of the time emasculating her husband,
Mm,
that child's father. So he sees that and think that's how the female male relationship dynamic works. And when they get out here in the real world and these women aren't really respecting soft ass niggas like that, it's like a kick in the face. It's a shock, like, oh, I thought I was supposed to do this, or I thought I was supposed to submit to this woman, or I thought I was supposed to, do XYZ.
mm,
I think that's where most simps come from. They come from single parent households and from households where the father was a simp himself.
mm,
Very emasculated men. If you've ever talked to a dude who had both parents in his home and he's a simp, ask him about his relationship, how the relationship was between his mom and his dad. I guarantee you the mom were the parents in the relationship.
mm.
Guaranteed.
Right.
So I think that's where they come from.
I mean, and I would say to the, to single moms, like, you want to, if you have a son, you want to raise your son to be the man, to be a man. And, you want to put your son in an environment where he can be around strong men, even if the father is not in the picture, somebody, a teacher, a coach, something. Because a lot of times, I don't know if they do it purposely. When you grow up and you live in a household and all your mom does is talk bad about men, um, it makes your son, it makes him feel a certain way. So he, if he grows up in that simp environment, and then when you look around and you look in the media, everything that's promoted is elevating women, and at the same time, um, disrespecting and devaluing men. Because don't get it twisted. Like, I'm all for sisters being elevated, but not at the expense of black men. So I'm not with that. But at the same time, when they're in this environment, they grow up in it. You are breeding, you are incubating a simp. He's going to be a future simp, and so he's going to grow up and he's going to say, look, I want to do right by this person because I know what my mom went through, and I know how dudes hurt her or did this and did that. So I'm not going to be like that. So I'm gonna be different. So yeah, this girl might have a messed up situation, but I see my mom in it, and I'm trying to save. Me dealing with her is me, and subconsciously I'm trying to save my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because I love my mom, and she's basically this same woman, 20 years ago. So I want to do right by her so that she doesn't have to, get older and be able to and tell these stories to her kid. You know what I'm saying? So you want to put your son in a situation where they could be around real men and who are going to give them real game. You know what I mean? Who are not going to uh, set them up for failure out here in these streets, because you can raise them up to be a simp, and you're gonna put him out there, and the world is gonna chew him up and spit him out, and then he's gonna get mad at you because he's gonna say, "Look, I did everything that my mom told me to do. I did this, I did that. I was breaking bread, I was doing this, and it didn't work for me. I thought this is what women wanted." You know what I'm saying? So now he's gonna become angry. He's gonna be resentful, and he's going to either hate women or he may go the MGTOW route or red pill. But a lot of that is based on the fact that he was raised a certain way to think about women a certain way, and then he got out in the world and realized that that was a lie. And so he felt like, growing up he was lied to his whole life. So now he don't like women, like that. He's not going to see himself committing to a woman. It's all about this red pill, and I ain't doing nothing for you, and I'm gonna get sex from you, but I ain't spending no money, I'm not taking you nowhere, I'm not doing any of that. A lot of that is just hatred at the fact that, and hurt at the fact that he was lied to. He thought he was being led a certain way, and he thought he understood how women feel and what they want, and he tried to do those things, and he got played.
Right, right. Really good points there, Frank. Man, that's real good breakdown right there. Um, I'm gonna end it there because we could be talking about this all night, but I just wanted to give brothers and sisters, because a lot of women ask what a simp is. I just kind of wanted to give y'all a preview of what a simp is, or a firm definition of what it is. Again, I have a recorded video that I'm working on now. It takes forever to edit these things, but I want this to be the definitive go-to for simps. If you want to know what a simp is, you click on that video. It'll tell you anywhere from 5 to 9 minutes. Um, Frank, I also want to do something, man. I'm gonna find some brothers. Hangouts is going away August 1st.
Mm.
Um, so I've never used the YouTube interface for live videos. Um, I don't know why they're getting rid of Hangouts. I'm gonna do some research and find out. But what I want to do like a simp story series where I get some brothers on here and they can kind of tell their stories of when they were simps out here in the game.
Mm.
Um, Shantina said she used to work with a lot of simps. Shantina, we're gonna have to get you on, man, and you can tell your stories about what you saw these niggas doing in these streets.
Right.
Ladies, if y'all ever had a man that simped, or if y'all ever had a man that y'all took advantage of because you knew he was a simp, I want y'all to tell y'all story too. I think that'll be really good to kind of give the fellas um, a visual of what to avoid, what kind of behavior not to engage in, things of that nature. I really want to just get dudes on here to chop it up for about 30 minutes to an hour, and they just tell their simp stories. Um, I got some simp stories, man. My simp stories were epic. And most men go through a simp wake up call. My simp wake up call was pretty alarming.
Mm.
But once I learned it and I got that game, I never went down that path again. I'm very passionate about men avoiding, having to go through a simp wake up call. Some guys never recover from their simp wake up call.
Right.
Some guys end up in jail for their simp wake up call. Unfortunately, some guys end up dead. That's their simp wake up call. A lot of men end up in debt, or in legal trouble or legal issues because they were out here simping, and the woman took advantage, and they get angry and upset, or is another man involved and he got angry and upset. I'm not just sitting here telling y'all to avoid doing this shit for health reasons or just because I want to. Being a simp can actually be dangerous. We kind of laugh about it. It's a funny term. The stories we have are really funny. Some men do not make it out on the other side scot free of being a simp. So I do want the brothers to come on and just kind of share their stories of times when they were out here simping or tricking off their money or things of that nature. What you think about that, Frank?
Uh, I'm with it. I think it'll be dope.
Yeah.
I just want to say to the brothers, man, the doors of the church are open. You know what I mean? It has been addiction time. And look, you don't if you're a simp and you hearing this, if you're a simp, you don't have to stay a simp. You know what I mean? Just, you know, realize and recognize the L that you've taken, and just get better. Get your confidence back, get your swagger back, man. Go call that girl up and get your BJ's card back. And tell her to bring your car back. You know what I'm saying? And look, you don't have to stay that way, man. You know what I'm saying? We've all taken L's at a certain point in our life, some more than others. But look, you could bounce back, man. You don't have to be a simp. And it ain't even necessarily a bad thing that you were a simp. You know what I'm saying? All it means is that you made a mistake and you can come up out of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Believe in yourself, have some confidence about yourself, build something, that you feel is worthy enough for you to protect. And then, when the situation is right, you build it and then you bring her into it. And if she's who she's supposed to be, then she'll line up with it and cooperate. And you'll do things, from a position of power, on your terms. And so you won't have to feel like, you are here simping and you're getting disrespected and violated. So, so you don't have to stay in that. You can come up out of it. Come out.
Right. Be delivered. I need to. I'm gonna have to find me some church music. Like I said, I'm about to upgrade my whole setup here, man. We're gonna add some sound effects. We're gonna have us some organ church music for the benediction, and we're gonna pass around that collection plate, man. We got some good stuff coming for y'all, man, on some real shit. So Frank, I appreciate you, man. I know you're a busy man, you got a family and everything, but I appreciate you coming on and just spitting some game to the family. Of course, if you ever want to get on and just spit game, if something on your heart by yourself, you're more than welcome to
All right, for sure.
on that channel and everything. Just make a video for the people, man.
Okay.
But I'm really gonna start really focusing on simps and how these men can stop this behavior, because there was a point a lot of it kind of died down, but I'm starting to see a lot of simpish behavior emerging again.
Right.
So we got to do something about it.
Yeah, we got to, man. We living in the last days out here, and it's a simp demon out here.
I'm telling you, man.
And it's running rampant. So we gotta do what we gotta do to start laying hands on some brothers and start getting these demons up out of them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you,
it's not healthy. It's not nice.
you niggas is looking real ugly with them demons on you right now. You got these chicks out here, got your nose wide open. She taking all your money and she taking your heart, and you're sitting over there, you're looking like an empty vessel, nigga. We're gonna fill you niggas back up with confidence, goddammit. Man, Frank, you got any other last words before we get up out of here?
No, that's all I got. I just want to thank everybody who came in and chopped it up with us for a few. I want to thank you for having me on. It's nothing. The future's bright. I want to shout out Nicole Michelle as well and her movement, the inner beauty movement, the defense team. Sure. So we rocking it. It's our time, and we're gonna do what we got to do.
Y'all rock with me here. Trust me, when I build projects, they last. And there will be a time where, you will be chatting among lots of other individuals. This is necessary in this day and age. It's not a lot of men. It's a lot of men on YouTube complaining, but it's not a lot of men. It's not a lot of brothers out here providing solutions and help to these young guys. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we're gonna do, man. So I appreciate everyone that is tuned in, watching. Thanks you, Shantina, again for the donation from earlier. We appreciate everyone that has donated. If you would like to donate a monetary gift, the PayPal link is at the bottom, paypal.me/ultimateblackman. Or just hit like and subscribe. That is support enough. I really appreciate that. That is really all you have to do. And share this content if you think it is good, if you think it is a healthy dialogue. Share it among your peers, your families, and share it among the super simps that you see on a daily basis so we can help deliver them from that simp demon. So until next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be good, and we will catch y'all on the flip side. Y'all be good. Peace.
Good night.